Sometimes, stepping back is the strongest move you can make. Picture this. Every great painting needs space to be truly seen, and similarly, your absence can paint a picture of mystery and value in her eyes. This isn't about playing games. It's about giving her the space to realize what she misses when you're not around. In today's guide, we explore an ancient Stoic principle that's surprisingly relevant in modern relationships: strategic absence. We'll unravel 10 powerful techniques to master this art of subtle withdrawal, showing you how to balance presence with absence, making each interaction with you something she eagerly anticipates. We're not advocating for ghosting or cold indifference, but a calculated step back that heightens intrigue and pulls her closer. This strategy is about creating an allure that makes you irresistible, transforming you from being taken for granted to being deeply desired. Ready to learn how to be less of the always available guy and more of the enigma? Stick with me until the end as we decode these techniques together. And if you're keen on more wisdom like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated. Let the journey begin. Number 1. Redirect your focus. Consider this. If you're constantly orbiting around her, offering unwavering attention, you're much like a predictable movie replayed too often. Stoics teach the value of self-sufficiency and independence, not just for inner peace, but also as a means to maintain interest and respect from others. Here's the truth. If you're always available, you risk becoming a background fixture, easily overlooked. How can she miss you if you never give her the chance? Imagine you used to spend your evenings waiting for her messages, always ready to respond at a moment's notice. Instead, start dedicating those evenings to your hobbies or spending time with friends. When she texts, rather than replying immediately, give it some time. You're not ignoring her. You're just prioritizing your activities and showing that your life has its own richness and schedule. This change in behavior exemplifies the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control, your actions and priorities, rather than obsessing over external validations. Over time, she'll notice this shift. Perhaps she'll start wondering what you're up to when you don't respond right away, which naturally makes you more intriguing. This isn't about playing games. It's about genuinely living a life that's attractive because it's full and balanced. Rather than chasing her relentlessly, texting frequently, liking every photo and appearing at every beck and call, practice restraint. This isn't about being cold or unkind, but about setting a balanced dynamic. Stoicism isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about managing them wisely. When you inundate someone with too much attention, they might feel overwhelmed, akin to feeling suffocated under a blanket of expectations they're not ready to meet. This pressure can lead to disinterest as you transform into a sure thing, a game already won at no real stakes. The Stoic approach here is to focus on yourself, engage deeply with your own life, cultivate your interests, and demonstrate that your world does not revolve solely around her. This isn't a manipulation tactic, but a genuine shift towards personal growth and self-improvement. By embodying the Stoic ideal of living according to your principles, without desperate need for external approval, you naturally become more intriguing and desirable. By prioritizing your own development, you subtly communicate that you are not merely waiting on her affections, but are actively engaged in a fulfilling life. This shift in focus, while primarily for your benefit, may also pique her curiosity and attraction as she notices your independence and confidence. Ultimately, the most effective way to draw someone's interest is to cultivate a life that doesn't rely on their attention to validate your worth. The true strength, as Stoicism teaches, comes from within, from a quiet confidence that does not require validation from others to feel complete. Number 2, the illusion of scarcity. Let's delve into a common pitfall many men encounter: the belief that a particular woman is the pinnacle of what the world has to offer. This perspective, rooted in a scarcity mindset, is a direct path to failure. When you start to view her as the only viable option, it's natural to begin operating out of fear. The fear of losing her, the fear that you're not enough, or the fear that she might find someone superior. In Stoicism, we learn about the importance of controlling what's within our power: our actions, our thoughts, and our responses. When you act from a place of fear, you relinquish control. You transform into a puppet, manipulated by the strings of your anxieties. This mindset leads you to tolerate disrespect, accept mere scraps of attention, and ultimately settle for less than you deserve. Consider this: if you emit signals of desperation, it becomes apparent. Women, much like anyone else, can detect when someone values themselves too little and depends too much on others for validation. Once she senses that you need her more than she needs you, the dynamic shifts, and not to your benefit. You're then seen not as a potential partner, but as someone lacking self-worth, someone desperate. And once that image is set, any attraction she might have felt can quickly dissipate. Now, if you're already on the path of self-improvement, focusing on becoming the best version of yourself, as we discussed in the previous step, it's crucial to broaden your view. The world is abundant with opportunities and connections. There are many women out there, and they are well within your reach. To truly embrace Stoicism in your approach to relationships, you must reject the scarcity mindset and adopt a mindset of abundance. Remember, the Stoic strives to see the world as it is, filled with opportunities to forge meaningful connections, rather than fixating on what is lacking. By doing so, you become more attractive not because you chase anyone, but because you are a grounded, self-sufficient individual who chooses to engage with others from a position of strength and confidence, not desperation. So, my friends, open your eyes to the abundance around you. As you cultivate a richer sense of self and a genuine appreciation for the variety of people and experiences life has to offer, you'll find that not only will you stop chasing after someone out of fear, but you may just find that they start running towards you, drawn by the very qualities you've developed. Number 3, avoid seeking approval on social media. In the realm of social media, it's easy to slip into habits that seem innocuous but reveal more about our intentions than we might like. Consider this: you believe you're maintaining distance from her, showing her you're unbothered. Yet, every time she posts something on Instagram, you're the first to watch her stories, like her photos, and perhaps even drop a comment. This behavior is counterproductive. It screams desperation, an eager wait for any small acknowledgement from her. From a Stoic viewpoint, wisdom comes from understanding and controlling our impulses. Marcus Aurelius once noted, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Applying this to social media means exercising restraint. Each like or comment you leave is a signal, a sign saying, "I'm watching, I'm waiting, I'm here whenever you need attention." This is the opposite of the detachment you intend to show. Think about it this way: when you view her stories immediately after she posts them, you're not embodying indifference, but rather a form of obsession. Stoicism teaches us that freedom comes from our ability to control our responses to external stimuli. In terms of attraction, mystery, and a touch of unpredictability are far more compelling than overt eagerness. Women, like all people, Gravitate towards those who convey depth and self-sufficiency, not those who display neediness. To truly adopt a Stoic approach to social media, start by curbing your interactions. Stop the automatic likes and comments. If feasible, skip her stories. Demonstrate that your world is vast and filled with interests beyond her social media activities. This adjustment in your digital behavior will provoke curiosity. She will begin to wonder about your absence, questioning whether your interests have shifted or if someone else has captured your attention. The lack of your usual digital validation creates a space that she will feel deeply. This absence signals a shift in your attention and can lead her to appreciate your presence more when you are less predictably available. Such uncertainty fosters intrigue, prompting her to think about you more and possibly seek you out, trying to understand the enigma you've become. By not being a constant presence in her digital life, you embody the Stoic ideal of self-control and independence, showing that you are not merely an observer, but someone with a rich, engaging life. The next time you feel the urge to interact with her posts, pause and reflect. Ask yourself what this action says about your values and how it aligns with the Stoic practice of self-mastery. By choosing to step back, you elevate your status from a passive follower to someone worthy of pursuit. This shift can fundamentally alter the dynamics between you, turning the chase around in your favor. If you've made it this far and found this video valuable, we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below saying, "No more seeking approval," to let us know how this content has resonated with you. Your feedback means a lot and helps us create even more helpful content. Thanks for your support. Now, let's continue. Number 4, let her miss you. Are you the kind of guy who believes you must be constantly visible and available to her, like a loyal puppy waiting by the door? If so, let's recalibrate that notion. In the wisdom of Stoicism, there's a powerful lesson about the value of presence and absence. Stoics teach us that everything has its value, and often scarcity enhances this value significantly. Think about it. Why would she miss you if you're incessantly available, always just a message or call away? It's human nature to take for granted what is easily accessible. So, if you want to shift the dynamics, consider adopting a more Stoic detachment. Begin by pulling back just a bit, not out of spite, but to cultivate your own space and independence. When you start to reduce your availability, it might initially perplex her. She may even think you're playing games. At this stage, it's crucial. It's not about playing games. It's about genuinely re-engaging with your own life. As you step back, she'll begin to notice the change. The absence, where your constant attention once filled her days, will start to echo. This isn't about neglect. It's about respect for both her and yourself. People naturally appreciate what is less attainable. When you become a rarer presence, not because you seek to manipulate, but because you are genuinely investing time in your own interests, friends, hobbies, personal goals, her perception shifts. She starts to wonder about your whereabouts, not because you're elusive, but because you are actively engaging with life, not just with her. This breeds a type of mystery and intrigue, not from games, but from genuine self-development. You are not disappearing. You are evolving. Your absence isn't a void left to hurt her, but a space you are filling with your growth. And this is inherently attractive. As she observes your life enriching, her desire to be part of that life increases. She's no longer chasing a shadow, but is drawn to a person who is fully engaged in the art of living, a fundamental Stoic pursuit. Thus, when she reaches out, drawn by the genuine enrichment of your life, it's not you playing hard to get. It's her realizing the true value of your presence. which, like all rare things, has become precious. So, let her miss you, not by vanishing, but by being so involved in your own life that your presence becomes a gift, not a given. This is the Stoic way, finding balance and fostering mutual respect through genuine personal development. When she finally catches up, she will be chasing not just the man she thought she knew, but the man you have become. Number 5, don't display desperation. In the realm of Stoicism, there's a powerful concept that aligns closely with how we should handle our interactions, especially when it comes to romantic pursuits. The principle of indifference towards things that are beyond our control, such as another person's attention or affection. This is where many fail by acting too eagerly, akin to a hungry dog awaiting its next meal. Consider this scenario. A woman texts you or interacts with your social media, and your immediate response is to engage right away. This might seem like polite reciprocity, but it can often lead to being perceived as overly available and predictably responsive. Remember, Stoicism teaches us to value our autonomy and not be swayed by external validations. People inherently value what is scarce. This is not just a market principle, but a human psychological tendency. By making yourself less readily available, you embody the Stoic ideal of self-sufficiency. You are not merely reacting to her gestures, but are instead engaged in your own pursuits. You might be delving into a new book that challenges your perspectives, embarking on a hiking trip with friends that tests your physical limits, or dedicating time to a personal project that fuels your passion. These activities enrich your life and develop your character, core tenets of Stoicism. As you cultivate this rich and self-directed life, your intermittent availability becomes a natural consequence, not a contrived tactic. The mystery that ensues from this approach isn't about playing games. It's a direct reflection of a life lived fully, in accordance with Stoic virtues of wisdom and temperance. You are no one's shadow but a figure of your own making, always evolving, always learning. When she notices this shift, that your attention isn't as guaranteed as it once was, she will likely feel a void. This isn't the void of neglect, but the space where she can appreciate your presence and the value it adds to her life. She starts to miss the depth and engagement you brought, now that it's not as omnipresent. Thus, the lesson here mirrors a fundamental Stoic discipline. Cultivate your inner richness so profoundly that your external availability becomes a gift, not a given. Let her feel the weight of your absence subtly, and let her recognize the worth of your presence in her pursuit to reconnect with you. This way, if she does reach out, it's not you who's seeking her, but rather she who recognizes the unique value you offer by simply being your authentic self. If you've made it this far and found this video valuable, we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below saying, "Be unavailable," to let us know how this content has resonated with you. Your feedback means a lot and helps us create even more helpful content. Now, let's dive back in. Number 6, place her on the sidelines. Let's delve into a Stoic approach to dealing with romantic pursuits, maintaining a dignified distance. The Stoics teach us about the value of self-sufficiency and not being overly attached to outcomes, which is vital in relationships. Consider the typical scenario where a man makes himself constantly available, always ready to meet her every need. This often leads to being taken for granted. She perceives him as a permanent fixture, as predictable and secure as the furniture in her living room. Why would she feel compelled to invest in something she believes is already hers? Here's where Stoic wisdom flips the script. If you show her that you have your own life, passions, and priorities, You're not just another character in her story, but a story yourself. This shift introduces an element of mystery and challenge. She's used to men who lay all their cards on the table, who are open books. But you're different. You're like a book with missing pages she's eager to uncover. For example, picture you're an avid hiker who plans weekend trips. Instead of canceling your plans to spend time with her, you proceed with your hike. You share a few scenic pictures with her, not to make her feel left out, but to show you're engaged in your own life. This nonchalance subtly hints that your world doesn't revolve around her. It's this independence that can pique her curiosity and desire. Acting with Stoic detachment doesn't mean being cold or dismissive. It means understanding the value of your presence and affection, regulating their availability. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we control: our actions, our time, our attention. By not always being at her beck and call, you convey that you value yourself and your time. This isn't playing games. It's about respecting yourself and, in turn, earning her respect. When she realizes you are not a guaranteed win, that there's a real possibility she might lose you to someone who appreciates your worth, she starts to view you under a new light. Now, you're a challenge, a peak she's driven to climb. Suddenly, the dynamic shifts. She moves from complacency to action, from disinterest to desire. In conclusion, use your understanding of Stoic principles to foster a healthier, more balanced relationship. Let her come to see you as a person of substance, someone who lives a full, engaging life, with or without her. This approach not only increases your attractiveness, but also builds a foundation where mutual respect and effort are the norm. Number 7. Punishment. Consider a situation where a woman treats you dismissively, often resorting to silent treatments or repeatedly standing you up without a second thought. Such behavior is a blatant disregard for your dignity, clearly stepping over the line of respect. According to Stoic philosophy, reacting in fear of losing her or desperately trying to mend the situation only undermines your own value and emboldens her disrespect. When you continuously allow such behavior without setting boundaries, you inadvertently teach her that she can mistreat you with no repercussions. This not only erodes any respect she might have had for you, but also obstructs the possibility of developing a meaningful connection. It becomes a toxic cycle where she dictates the terms and you, fearing loss, comply, thereby transforming yourself into nothing more than an option rather than a priority. The Stoic response to such disrespect isn't about retaliation or creating drama, but about asserting your worth through strategic withdrawal. When faced with disrespect, a Stoic chooses to step back, not out of spite, but to reinforce their self-respect. This withdrawal is a silent proclamation. I recognize my worth, and I refuse to accept less than I deserve. It's not about severing ties, but about setting clear boundaries that signal your refusal to be treated poorly. This method of handling disrespect is about teaching through absence. By removing yourself from her immediate reach, you allow her space to contemplate her actions and the value you bring to the relationship. This isn't punishment in the punitive sense, but a recalibration of the relationship dynamics based on mutual respect. When you step back, you convey a powerful message that you are someone who values yourself and expects to be treated with the same respect you provide. The benefits of this approach extend beyond just improving the dynamics of a particular relationship. It boosts your self-esteem as you affirm to yourself that you are worthy of respect and should not settle for less. Additionally, this kind of self-valuing behavior tends to be noticed. It sets a precedent for how you are to be treated not only by her, but by others in your life. Moreover, if she truly values your presence, your withdrawal will prompt a reconsideration of her behavior. If she adjusts her attitude and shows genuine respect, then the relationship can evolve on healthier terms. If not, your decision to step back will have saved you from a one-sided relationship that could have continued to degrade your self-worth. Number 8. Be the prize, not the hunter. Let's break it down. If you find yourself always on the chase, always available, and perpetually trying to prove your value, it's time to pause and reflect. Stoicism teaches us the value of self-sufficiency and knowing oneself. When you start to view yourself as the prize, the dynamic changes. You no longer seek her validation. Instead, she must earn your attention. Step 1. Understand your worth. Start by fully embracing your own value. This isn't about arrogance. It's about acknowledging your intrinsic worth. When you truly recognize your own worth, you no longer feel compelled to seek approval. This self-recognition influences how others perceive you. People are naturally drawn to those who are confident and self-assured. If they fail to see your worth, that's their oversight, not a reflection of your value. Step 2. Lead a fulfilling life. Next, cultivate a life that's rich with your own goals and passions. According to Stoic principles, the key to happiness is focusing on personal virtue and growth rather than external validations. Engage in hobbies, pursue your career ambitions, and maintain robust personal relationships. This makes you more attractive and influential because you're seen as someone who is content and fulfilled on their own, not someone who is desperately seeking companionship. Step 3. Establish firm boundaries. Finally, enforce strict personal boundaries. Stoicism teaches us to respect ourselves enough to say no, and to walk away from situations or relationships that don't serve us. If someone doesn't recognize or respect your value, have the strength to remove yourself from that dynamic. Position yourself as a prize that isn't easily accessible. Think of yourself as a rare artifact, exceptional and distinctive. If she risks losing you, let her realize the unique value she's overlooking. By positioning yourself as the prize, your mindset shifts from one of neediness to one of self-assuredness. You stop chasing after people and start attracting them to you. You become like a beacon, radiant and compelling. Be deliberate about who you allow into your life. Don't be readily available or constantly accommodating. Instead, be like the lion, king of its domain, regal and assured, who does not run after others but commands respect naturally. Number 9. Avoid rushing your relationship. Imagine you're always around her, thinking that your constant presence will win her heart. But let's pause and reflect. How is she supposed to miss you if you're always there? Just like the Stoics taught, everything has its place and time, including your presence in her life. In Stoicism, there's a belief in moderation and balance. If you're always available, you might end up being predictable and, quite frankly, boring. Like a favorite song played too many times until it loses its magic. You aren't giving her the chance to appreciate your worth because she knows you're just a call or text away, every single time. This is where the wisdom of the Stoics comes into play. Sometimes, less is more. Now, when I say you should ignore her, I don't mean being rude or aloof. What I mean is creating a space where she can reflect on your absence and, in that space, realize your value. The ancient Stoics believed in focusing on what you can control: your actions, your mindset, and your responses. You can't control how she feels, but you can control how often you're available. It's about finding that delicate balance where your presence is valued and your absence is felt. This is not about playing games, but about cultivating a deeper respect for yourself and your time. Think about a time when you were really passionate about something, your career, a hobby, or personal development. You were so engrossed in your pursuits that you naturally became less available. What happened? Chances are, people noticed your absence and perhaps even reached out more because they valued the time they spent with you. This is the dynamic you want to create in your relationships. The key is to focus on your life, your interests, passions, and goals. When you're genuinely busy living a fulfilling life, she will naturally notice your absence. You're no longer the guy who's always there. You become the guy who has his own life, someone she has to make an effort to be with. This not only makes you more attractive, but also establishes a healthy balance in the relationship. By not rushing or forcing constant interaction, you allow the relationship to breathe. She starts to see you not as someone who's always available, but as someone who has a purpose, a direction, qualities that are incredibly attractive. This is about cultivating a quiet confidence, the kind that doesn't need constant validation or approval. It's about showing that you're complete on your own, and if she wants to be a part of your life, she needs to bring her best self forward. So, take a step back. Focus on what you can control, your actions, your growth, your happiness. By doing so, you create an environment where she has the opportunity to chase after you, seeing you in a new light, with renewed interest. This isn't manipulation. It's about maintaining your self-respect and creating a relationship dynamic where both parties bring value, effort, and genuine interest. And that's something worth striving for, both in love and in life. Number 10. Maintain emotional stability. In the realm of personal growth and interactions, one of the most compelling attributes you can develop is emotional stability. This doesn't mean you should hide your feelings or pretend everything is always perfect. Instead, it means managing your emotions in a balanced and thoughtful way. In Stoicism, emotional stability is about maintaining control over your responses to life's ups and downs. The Stoics believed that while we cannot always control external events, we can control how we respond to them. This approach is particularly useful in relationships and daily life, where emotional instability can lead to misunderstandings and conflict. Here's how you can cultivate emotional stability. First, develop self-awareness. Understand what triggers your emotions and how you typically react. By recognizing these patterns, you can better manage your responses and prevent them from controlling you. For example, if you know you get anxious in stressful situations, you can prepare by practicing calming techniques ahead of time. Second, pause and reflect. When faced with a challenging situation, take a moment to pause before reacting. This Stoic practice of reflection helps you avoid impulsive reactions and respond more thoughtfully. Imagine a colleague criticizes your work. Instead of reacting defensively, take a deep breath, reflect on their feedback, and respond calmly. Third, practice emotional regulation. Use techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, or journaling to keep your emotions in check. These practices help you stay grounded and prevent emotional outbursts. For instance, if you're feeling overwhelmed, a few minutes of deep breathing can help you regain your composure. Fourth, communicate effectively. Express your feelings and concerns in a calm and constructive manner. Clear communication can help resolve potential conflicts before they escalate. If a misunderstanding arises, address it calmly and openly, rather than letting it fester. Fifth, seek support. If you find yourself struggling with emotional issues, seek support from friends, family, or a mental health professional. It's important to acknowledge that seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Just as Stoicism teaches us to understand our limitations, recognizing when to seek support can help you maintain emotional balance. By focusing on emotional stability, you not only enhance your personal appeal, but also contribute to healthier, more harmonious interactions. It demonstrates that you handle challenges with grace and respect, fostering deeper, more meaningful connections. In the spirit of Stoicism, remember that true strength lies in how we manage our emotions, not in their suppression. Thank you for joining me today as we explored the subtle power of strategic absence, a timeless Stoic wisdom that remains profoundly relevant in modern relationships. Through the art of nuanced withdrawal, we've uncovered how balancing your presence and absence can transform you from the predictable to the profoundly desired. Remember, it's not about being elusive, it's about enriching your life so richly that your mere presence becomes a rare and valued gift. I hope these insights inspire you to embrace a more balanced approach in your interactions, allowing each connection to grow in anticipation and respect. This journey isn't just about attracting attention, it's about becoming a person of depth and integrity, qualities that are truly irresistible. If this video has given you new perspectives or helped in any way, please like it and consider subscribing to our channel for more Stoic wisdom applied to modern life. Feel free to leave a comment below with your thoughts, or rate this video by typing a number from 1 to 5 in the comments, where 1 is the lowest score and 5 is the highest. Your feedback is invaluable. And before you go, take a moment to watch the recommended videos appearing on your screen now. They're handpicked to further enrich your understanding and help you master the art of living wisely and well. Thank you for your time. And remember, in the art of life, sometimes the most powerful move you can make is a step back.